Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Dahmer. This is episode 5. So we're in Milwaukee, 1987. Jeffrey is working the night shift. He still lives with his grandmother. She's inquiring about his new job, and he being short and curt with her. He don't want to talk about it, whatever. Just being mean for no reason. Then we see him at work, and he's in the break room alone, eating his lunch or whatever. And he looks down at the paper and sees this handsome man in the obituary section. And we flip, and now he is speaking with the detectives, and he's telling them that he went to the man's funeral, and he went to the funeral because he thought he was beautiful. Talking about he went to the wake and everything. And did anybody notice that you was there, crazy self? Anyway, he decided that he wanted to dig the man up. So he goes out there to try to dig him up. In his mind, he wanted to dig him up, get down in there and lay with him. Oh, Lord, it's just nuts. It's just like, what is going on in your head? Like, what is that? That's such outlandish stuff for the normal human mind to just think of. Like, something is wrong, Jeffrey. For real, that ain't normal. That's not a normal pathology. It's just not. Anyway, he says that the ground was too hard, so he couldn't dig the man up, but he wishes that he could have, because he feels like maybe I might not have done all that killing afterwards. Yeah, right. It's 1991, and detectives, they just want to know why. Like, why would you want to dig up a dead body? And he says that, I guess I just hope that, he could be somebody that that would want to watch the same movies as me. He dead, Jeffrey. They can't watch the movies. You still alone watching said movies. Excuse me. They're dead. Anyway, he wanted to control those men. Everybody's always telling him what to do, and he could control the situation once they were basically zombies. Detectives changed the subject to Steven, and Jeffrey says that was an accident. And first of all, he wants clarification, which one was that? Steven, which one was that? Oh, the hitchhiker? To be honest, I never really remembered their name. And then Detective Miles was like, y'all know that was his name on Soul Food. Detective Miles say, you should know. He's sitting over there fed up with Jeffrey. I understand. And then the other cop he just got all the, well, why? Well, why'd you do that? Well, what made you do that? Well, what was your mind frame when you did that? And the other one is sitting over there like, all that's bullshit, calculated, crazy. That's why. Talking about you should know their names. They're people that you killed, dismembered, all that. What you mean you don't know their name? And Jeffrey just looks at him like, what'd I do? He's so crazy. He's so crazy, and Evan is doing such a great job. Anyway, he's killed two guys named Steve. Steve, the guy he killed downtown in the hotel, and Steven, the hitchhiker. He gonna say, both named Steve. How about that? Like, what's for lunch? Anyway, Jeffrey says that both of those situations were an accident. Yeah, right. The man want to know, okay, well, if those were accidents, so what changed? What made you start hunting people down and doing what you was doing? What changed? And Jeffrey blames it on the heavy drinking, because he always got an excuse. He ain't accountable for nothing. As he's talking to them, we see him, going into the bar regularly and drinking at the bar and picking up guys and taking them back to his grandmama house, still drugging them and all of that. And then he take them to the basement, he said, and strangle them so they were, unconscious. And he didn't want them to suffer. Basically, I guess he's saying he didn't want to cut them up alive. I don't know. I can't understand the man's psyche. I'm really trying, but I can't. I'm trying to figure out, sir, what you mean you ain't want them to suffer? You have made them suffer. You strangled them. What are we doing, Jeffrey? Like, anyway, we see what he did to one of his victims. He's straddling the man butt ass naked, strangling him, and then just gonna lay with him. It's just weird. Weirdo. They ask him how many people that he killed at his grandmother's house, and he says 3. And then they asked him, to describe the men. And then we see Jeffrey dragging each of the men. He said that one was a black guy, one was a Chicano, and the other was American Indian. Jeffrey says that he only, took a victim that he felt was beautiful, They became victims if he felt like they were beautiful. Detective Miles ain't buying that. Once again, he looking at him like, nah, you targeted him. That's what you did. You targeted your victim. But once again, Jeffrey plays coy like he always does. I'm sorry. I don't even know what that word means. Targeted? What do you mean by that? I'm not a racist. He ain't like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, these kills were racially motivated, not as in you hate black, brown people, but ain't nobody looking for them, ain't nobody looking into their case, ain't nobody doing nothing for them. And so that's why they were the perfect victims. People that would go undetected. Oh, they're not going to look into this. He's black. They're not going to look into the Asian man. They're immigrants. You knew that, Jeffrey. So don't. Anyway, because Detective Miles say you purposely moved into the black community. You purposely did that. You absolutely were on a hunt. Absolutely. Don't try to play. Talking about he moved into an apartment that he can afford. F that. So then what, Jeffrey? Now what? Jeffrey says that he would panic, at that point because he was worried about his grandma coming downstairs and finding them. But then he remembered, she don't really like going up and down the stairs anyway. But she did notice that smell eventually. And he had to start triple bagging the body parts. Walking right past grandma. And he loved to blame it on the taxidermy. Did you see said roadkill come into the house, grandma? No, all you see is bags and bags of stuff going out. Bag 3 and 4 times. What's in the bag? What's in there? I would have been asked. I would have been down there snooping. She ain't snooping around enough. Because she should, and she knew. She just didn't want to find out what she thought she knew. Both her and her son, Mr. Dahmer. They knew what was happening and just did nothing. Just gross negligence on all parts. Everybody involved. Everybody but Glenda Niecy Nash. Everybody but her. Everybody else. And you know what? Grandma looked out in this episode. Grandma, she gained some points with me. But anyway, we'll get there. He talking about it's his experiments and all of that. Cause she like, listen, you done took out the trash. Why it still stink? It's bad, Jeffrey. I know you smell it. It's my taxidermy stuff. It's my hobby. I'm into it. It's my experiments. What you experimenting on? What you mean your experiments? Anyway, he says that he'd soak some of the parts in acid and then boil the bones until the flesh, would fall off. And basically, like I said, he gave into impulses. Any impulse that he had, he gave into it. He didn't want to fight no more. I don't know why. I don't even know if he was even trying. Talking about he would try. I mean, he stayed dormant for 9 years, but you still doing a lot. You have completely progressed with your the nature of your crime. It's like went one extreme to the next. I just don't understand. Talking about experiments. Anyway, Jeffrey asked, after he talking to them, just another casual question. You think I can get the electric chair? Think they're gonna give me that? That's what I want. Like, okay, Jeffrey. We hope we want that for you as well. We want that for you too. The detective asks, have you ever heard voices? Are voices telling you to do that? He's trying to find some type of reason behind this crazy madness. And Jeffrey says, no, I'm not insane at all. It just got really easy for him. And they asked about his grandma not suspecting nothing. So she didn't suspect anything. And Jeffrey says, no, she suspected something, just not that. She suspected I was gay, but she didn't suspect I was out here doing what I was doing. Then we see that she says she heard this thud once, and he told her, that he just fell. Then she saw that he was bringing men home. And so just as he suspected, he was living the gay life. And he couldn't do anything, he couldn't do anything about her coming up and down the stairs, all of that. But in the summer months, he really worried because the smell would be worse. And he really couldn't do nothing about that. But he would continuously tell them people that it was just the taxidermy, because grandma was asking. One day, when he was headed out to work, she asked about the smell again. And he tells her that there's a dead raccoon under their porch. You can't really get to it. Don't worry. The smell will be there for a little while, but then it won't. And he turned around and going on to work. Anyway, Mr. Dahmer, he back now because, grandma done called in the law. Mr. Dahmer is back. He smells it too. Like, Jeffrey, you don't smell that? And Jeffrey's like, it's my taxidermy stuff. It's my hobby. It's my experiments. Shut up. He go all the way down in the cellar, everything following the smell. And they come up on this locked door. And he's like, Jeffrey, open this now. Jeffrey's like, I don't know where the key. Open it now, Jeffrey. Jeffrey going to open it, and the smell almost knocked Daddy down. He sees the drain full of guts and blood and all of that. He goes down. What? What is this? Jeffrey says that it's a skunk. He was trying to dissolve it and see if he could get it down the drain. His daddy like, make sure it goes all the way down next time, Jeffrey. And he really just took that for what it was. Sir, do you really think that those were the insides of an animal? Do you really think that? Or did you think that your son was out here murdering people? I think you thought that. But you was just going to run with whatever he said. Mr. Dahmer tells him, you need to clean better. And you need to stop doing that because that's why grandma called, because she found his satanic altar he had. And so that was that. She got him on the line. And so he tells Jeffrey, take that down, cut that out. You really doing a lot. Stress your grandma out. Take that stuff down. And then he tells him that he did stop. He stopped, and he stopped for months. He was scared he was going to get arrested and everything, but it never happened. He never saw any coverage on the victims. And Detective Miles is like, I wonder why. Your ass. Never saw any coverage on. He's just so smug. You just want to pop him upside the face like that. Just dead in the nose. Dead in the nose. Because stop it. People, I hate when people play on your intelligence like that. Like, don't do that, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. At least Evan is really portraying him to be this way. Anyway. There's this guy. And, hold on. Did I skip something? No, I didn't. Anyway, there's this guy. And he's getting in his car. And it's Ricky from Pose. His name is Ron on here. We're going to call him Ricky Ron. Ricky Ron getting in his car. And he can't start it up. And, of course, Jeffrey's right there. Need any help? Yeah, come on, get out. My grandma's house is just right around the corner. I can come back, and we can go get the car, and I can come back and give you a jump. So Ricky Ron is like, cool, I'll wait here. You should have stood with that, Ricky Ron, because it's the discernment. You knew someone right. He looked weird. Anyway, Against his better judgment, he gets out and he goes with Jeffrey back to the house. And they get back to the house, and the first thing Jeffrey talking about is, you want to see the fruit seller? He already ready to get him down there. He like, fruit seller? No, I came here because you said you was going to help me. Like, are you going to help or not? I need to get back to my car. Okay, cool, man. I'm just going to go look for the keys and he in there popping a beer open, and he come back. Would you like a beer? No, thank you. I just really want to get back to my car. I just want to get back to my car. Whole time, grandma upstairs. You know, he coming in, opening cabinets, slamming cabinet doors, and turning on microwaves and all of that. And so she done woke up. And Jeffrey is down there still trying to get this man to go in his cellar. Or take something to drink so he can drug it. And he offers him coffee. He's like, I'm just trying to be hospitable. You know, I'm just trying to offer you something to see if you're okay, if you want anything. That's all. Would you like some coffee? And then Ricky Ron is like, listen, okay, but make it quick. His grandma is upstairs, of course, and she hears all of that, and she tells him that it's too late for him to be having company. She's, yelling from upstairs, and he yelling back, it's just my friend, and he's just here to sober up. And Ricky Ron look over there at him like, friend, let me make something clear. We ain't doing none of that tonight. Won't be no sex, won't be no cuddling. I don't know what your intentions were, but I just came so I can get a jump on the car. Won't be none of that. And then Jeffrey says, we'll see about that. Ricky Ron say, fuck now, I'm leaving. Go to hell, and I'm leaving, okay? And as soon as he get up, it's like, whoa, what the hell done happened? He's drugged and dazed and confused and all of that. And Jeffrey's just walking up on him. What was that? Oh, relax. I just wanted you to relax, and I just wanted you to be here. And then starts rubbing on him and everything. And then he's on, like, over him with his hand around his neck, like he always do. And grandma come down them stairs. Jeffrey, it's time for your gentleman caller to leave. I said it's too late. And then Jeffrey going off on her because she looking like, well, what's wrong with him? Nothing. He's just drunk. He just needs to sober up. Oh, is he, Jeffrey? Something looks like it's wrong. You need to get this young man a hospital. First, grandma came down there talking about, Jeffrey, I didn't know you had black friends. And I was like, what is this, grandma? But grandma quickly turned it around. Anyway, grandma say, you need to get the boy some help. You need to get him to the hospital. Jeffrey keeps saying, no, he's good. Go ahead back upstairs, grandma. I got it. And grandma's like, nah, something is wrong with him. You talking about drunk, but no. So she goes get a blanket, and he's like, what are you doing? Go back upstairs. No, I'm going to give him this blanket, and I'm going to sit right here until he wakes up. And if he's still sick in the morning, then we're going to take him to the hospital. Okay? Grandma ain't having it. You know he was mad. And tries to throw that gay back up in her face like, whatever. She already know that. You mad because you can't kill nobody tonight, and it ain't going to happen tonight. Ricky Ron say he covered by the blood of Jesus. Covered. That's what I'm talking about. That's when the angels got your back. Okay? You want whatever you want to call them, ancestors, angels, the universe, whatever you want to say. They had his back that night. The whole Trinity. Okay? Everybody was protecting Ricky Ron that night. But anyway, the next morning, Ricky Ron wake up still dazed. He's overdosed for sure. So the drugs are still kicking. And he and grandma take him, they at the bus stop. He done made grandma pay for the bus fare. And they just throw him on the bus and go. Bus driver like, is he all right? Oh yeah, he's just drunk. Just need to sober up. And the bus driver's like, okay, well, where am I supposed to take him? Oh yeah, take him around near the Smith, over there. This 27. This go all the way down 27. Yeah, that's where he lived. Left him for dead. Robbed him and everything. Took his $200 and his bracelet. And so Ricky Ron he gets off the bus, at the last stop, and he's still dazed and confused like a zombie just walking through the streets. He almost get hit by a car. I was nervous. I thought Jeffrey was going meet them down at the end of the stop. I really did. I thought that he was gonna come back, but anyway, he moseys into this cornfield and collapses. I don't know who finds him, but somebody finds him, and he wakes up in the hospital. And of course, he's dazed and confused, and he has to tell the police. He tells the nurse what happened to him, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta talk to the police." And so he goes to the police and he tells them that he was drugged, and the officer immediately brushes him off because he's a black man. He's a black man and he's gay. Ricky Ron, he's adding more to the story. He's like, y'all, it went down, and I need for y'all to do something about it. He tells him that he went to the bathhouses and he checked in with them, and they know who he is. This is what he does: drugs and kill and rapes people. He doing a lot. He's a sexual deviant. Get him off the streets. Still, the officer, there's nothing we can really do. We'll look into it. He like, I don't need you to look into it. I need you to do something. I need you to get up off your ass and go get him. That's what I need you to do. I know exactly where he lives, and I can show you, and I can tell you, I can write it down. So the police go and they drop by Jeffrey's house, and of course he acts like he doesn't know. I don't know. He just offered the guy a jump, and he was very drunk. See how he like to use his white privilege when it's good and beneficial for him? He ain't shit. He ain't. Anyway, grandma looking at him like, Because the man says, well, if I look around, will I find any kind of tranquilizing drugs or something like that? I wouldn't know what that looks like. Grandma was like, Anyway, he basically brushes the police off, gives them what they want to hear, because the man asks, he says, and he said you stole $200 in a bracelet. Bracelet? I don't know about no bracelet. He know about the bracelet. He done took that bracelet and put it on one of the severed arms he got stored in that little room down there in the cellar. That's what a bracelet is. Done spent $200 on the beer because he an alcoholic for sure. I know he spent all that money on beer. The police end up filling Ricky Ron in on the mess, and they're like, you don't find it. No, he says that the police are like, we know he's been, charged with a few things. He's got a couple of arrests, on his record. And but you should know how that is to be arrested and turn it around. And Ricky Ron was like, I've never been arrested. Yeah, but you should know. No. Fuck you. Like that? What you mean by that? I should know. Whew, the microaggressions of it all, child. Just blatant racism. You just gonna be a racist right here. just in my face. Just don't even care about what's coming out your mouth. Like he knew good and damn well that what he was saying was problematic. And he said it anyway. Because, the racists really don't be caring that they racist. But you tell them that they racist, and then it's, not me. Anyway. Ricky Ron had enough, because the detective is a sorry-ass excuseful one. And Ricky Ron, like, you gonna take the word over a man with a record, and you're not gonna take the word over the black man without a record. Okay, I see what we got going on right now. He about to jump up and jump on him, but you can't be the angry black man, because that's what they be trying to push you to do. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Because I know they know the trigger words, they know all of that. He ain't do that though. But he should have knocked over a stapler or two on the way out. Really knocked over some papers, get to clean up around here. Anyway. Ricky Ron walking around, walking home. I guess he was at the bar. I don't know. But he sees Jeffrey about to get some unsuspected victim in a taxi. And Ricky Ron like, hey, don't get in the car with him. He gonna drug you and try to kill you. I'm sorry. Brother, you might not want to get in the car with him. He tried to drug me. He gonna try to drug you and kill you. That guy was like, oh. And then just takes off running. So another life saved. Thank you, Ricky Ron. And then Jeffrey got the nerve to try to do a standoff. And Ricky Ron like, I want you to try it. Right out here in front of the capacity, I want you to try it. Jeffrey don't do nothing because he know better. He just, okay, yeah. Get in the car. He actually just get in the taxi and going on by his business, because what else you gonna do, Jeffrey? That's right, Ricky Ryan. Shout out to Ricky Ryan. Where Ricky Ryan at right now? They should have gave him a medal. He was out there saving lives. Jeffrey was pissed. He was pissed off. Oh well. Anyway, Grandma, she waking up to loud noises, and it's the y'all remember the 14-year-old that they took back to the house a few episodes ago. It's his brother. His brother is 13 years old. 13. He's stumbling out the house because he's drugged up. He's stumbling out the house. And Grandma, she looking out the window. She said, Jeffrey come running outside. You forgot your $50. And he's like, He incoherent. And just, goes on off into the sunset. And Grandma, she up in the window, really tapping hard on the window, because Jeffrey was probably about to run after him. And if he had gotten to him, he would have killed him. But Jeffrey has to go on back in the house, because his grandma is just banging on the window. So once again, she out saving lives too. She out saving lives. The next day he at work and he gets arrested. Them people done press charges because the little boy, he walks and stumbles and fumbles all the way to his house. And he get in the door and they fussing at him. Why you ain't in the house that whole time? You done missed curfew. They really fussing. And he just drugged up, just stumbling up the stairs, and finally just collapses on his bed. And his dad is like, oh, call the ambulance, call the ambulance, call the ambulance. And Jeffrey got arrested the next day because, of course, they pressed charges. He molested that boy. That boy was 13, somebody's baby. Somebody's baby. Perp walk. I like that they did the perp walk right through the job. Right through the job. Anyway, he pleads no contest to the charge of sexual assault, and then he's sentenced to 1 year. The judge talking about, you remind me of my son, and he had a drinking problem too, but he turned it around, and you're just not the kind of guy that belongs, behind jail. He gonna show him leniency. And why does this happen to the stenographer when he says that, he only going to get a year and he's not the kind of guy that needs to go to jail. All that white privilege talk. The stenographer, who is a black woman, she look up like, she has to pause. Because we all are like, say what? He at least should have got 10 years behind that. And I said least. Don't get me to talking about the maximum sentence. Because the maximum sentence should be about 25 years. You want to fondle and fool around with children. Anyway, the judge ain't shit. The judge just completely excuses all of that. Like them people, the victim is not sitting right there. Just a slap in their whole face. F you too, Mr. Judge, whoever you are, I'm going to need for y'all to go on and find them. Is the judge still alive on this case? Because I feel like they need to be brought up on charges too. And the police that just didn't do anything. Anyway, Mr. Dahmer, he takes him back to his grandmother's house. They're going to have one last family dinner before Jeffrey, has to turn himself in. Grandma posted the bail, so we expect you to pay Grandma back. The bail was $2,500. I don't know how he gonna do that, but he ain't paying that lady back. I don't even know why y'all saying it. Jeffrey's still on bullshit. So all I was doing was trying to take pictures. So all I was doing. I don't understand what they're setting me up, Dad. It's like they're trying to get me. Everybody's out to get me. All I was doing was taking a picture. And you still shouldn't be taking pictures of children, stupid. Anyway. Mr. Dahmer is basically like, save it. Do you want a beer? Still contributing to the bullshit. You feeling like that, but still gonna give him a beer. Okay. And we already know, although it's not to blame, but it does contribute to the madness. It really does. Stop giving him something to drink. Anyway, his daddy want to know where that box is. Go on and get it back. Go on and get it. And Jeffrey says, Grandma gave it to me. I don't give a damn what she gets. Mine. Give it back. Right now. You need to produce the box. And so he gets up and goes to get, okay, I'll go get it. And Mr. Dahmer get up too. All right, let's go. You don't follow me? Absolutely. Take me to the box. They get in there to the room. He gets the box out of the closet. Now Jeffrey to act like he don't know where the key is. Find the key, Jeffrey. Find the key. Jeffrey says that he lost the key. And Mr. Dahmer, of course, is like, I know something bad is in that box. What is it? Porn? What is it? I know your grandma. I don't want you to have no porn. It's like, I'm worried about you. Like, I don't understand. Like, you've never, I looked under your bed. You've never had Playboy magazines under your bed, ever. So, Dad, if you know what it is, then why are you even going through all of this? Still, their mindset is on him being gay and not him being a murderer, which is crazy. All signs point to serial killer, and yet for them, all signs point to, oh, he's gay. That too. He's gay and he's a serial killer. I need y'all to put the two and the two together. Anyway, Mr. Dahmer come back in there. He goes back downstairs because Jeffrey act like he can't get the box open. He said, oh, I'm going to get it open. I'm going to just smash it open. When he leaves, Jeffrey quickly closes the door, of course, and takes that head out of it. When his daddy come back upstairs, he ready to smash. Don't smash your box, Dad. I found the key. Oh, how ironic. Oh, what a coincidence. They open it. It's just some Playboy magazines. I didn't want Grandma to find them. Meanwhile, that man head in the closet on the floor. Anyway, on the ride home, Mr. Dahmer is beside himself. You know, he's blaming himself. And he's like, all these red flags that I ignored. All the red flags, I ignored them. And still, the dad is talking about him just being like a sexual deviant since he done been with this 13-year-old boy, not him being a serial killer. Red flag number one was when Mr. Dahmer got the call in the middle of the night and Jeffrey was discharged for drugging somebody, of course. Then red flag number two was the mannequin. And then, you know, Jeffrey talking about it was just a dare because his dad asked him about it. Like, what you doing with that mannequin? Oh, it's just a dare. It's just a joke. Red flag number three was him exposing himself at the state fair. Jeffrey talking about he was just peeing. I mean, an excuse for everything. Red flag number four was him getting arrested for molesting the 13-year-old boy. And Jeffrey is like, I didn't molest him. It's all I did was take some pictures. It's crazy. He's talking about people out to get him. Ain't nobody out to get him. You the one out to do the getting. Crazy. Anyway, Mr. Dahmer says that he can't stop thinking about that boy's father and the pain in his eyes, you know, at court. And then we see that the father, he's about to give his impact statement, and the judge is racist as well, and so he has no tolerance for the thick accent that he has. I think they were from Laos. But anyway, he asked for one of the children to come up and translate. Because I don't know. I'm just having so much trouble understanding you. The man get up there and, like, you know, really pleads, you know, and talks about how this has, you know, been detrimental to their family. And he cut him off. Oh, okay, thank you. You can go ahead and give your letter to the bailiff and we'll make sure it gets into discovery. And then he proceeds to lay out that very, very, very lenient sentence. Daddy was looking at him like, if looks could kill, you be dead. You be a dead mother. He was looking at him like he wanted to jump over there and get him. Then we see that Mr. Dahmer is the reason why. He wrote the judge, pleading his case, talking about Jeffrey was an alcoholic and he just needed rehab treatment and all of that. 1 year after Jeffrey's arrest, he's free now. Mr. Dahmer is picking him up Again, he's going back to his grandma's house, but only for a week, because after that, he's going to have to find somewhere to go. He's going to have to find him a new apartment. And they tell him they're going to help him, help him look for an apartment. But anyway, before they leave, Mr. Dahmer asks, did you ever speak to a counselor while you were in here, to kind of, help you out a little bit? And Jeffrey's like, no, they kind of left us alone in here. I ain't really do that. Mr. Dahmer says that he got to go to the bathroom before they leave, and Jeffrey just skips on out the door. Mr. Dahmer he slid down the wall, just defeated once again. No, there's no recidivism at all whatsoever with him. Anyway, Jeffrey, we see him walking up to his new apartment building. Now we see he's in those apartments where they picked him up at, where it all ended. And he's walking with this black guy, and this guy is deaf. And that broke my heart. And just knowing that no one would hear his cries. That was really sad to see. Because that man has no idea what's in store for him. Like, he has no idea. There's nobody there to save him, to help him. Of course, they walk on across the street. Yeah, this is my apartment. You want to come on in? He done learned how to sign and everything. I'm like, when he started doing that? Where did he pick up that skill? Now he can sign language? Anyway, that's where we end. I gotta watch episode 6. Judging from comments and what I hear, episode 6 gonna take me through. I can only really do these 2 at a time when I'm watching it, because it's heavy. It really is, which is why I have to come over here and make light of everything. Because it's heavy stuff. It really is. And I ain't gonna be sitting up here crying, crying and all of that. We're not doing that. All right, that's it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.